Have you ever said, "I'll do it later," or "I'll start tomorrow"? We all have. It seems harmless at first, but here's what we don't realize. Every later is like a tiny thief. It steals a little bit of our time, and when many of these laters come together, they can steal our entire future. Hours slip away while we scroll and watch. Days pass while we plan to start. Years go by while we wait for the perfect moment. Everyone gets the same amount of time in a day. The person who respects time climbs to the top of success, and the person who wastes it burns in the fire of regret. The student who tops the class and the one who fails both get the same 24 hours. The difference is simple. One uses it and the other wastes it. This story is about a boy who learned this truth. Perhaps his story will help you understand something very important. Time doesn't wait. Listen to this story carefully until the very end, because this isn't just a story, it's a mirror. You might see yourself in it. In a small, quiet town lived a young boy who had everything he needed: loving parents, good teachers, and a comfortable home. He was very smart, intelligent, and kind. But he had one big problem: laziness. He always kept pushing his work to another time. "I'll do it later," became his answer for everything. When his mother asked him to clean his room, he would say, "Later, Mom." When teachers gave him homework, he thought, "I have plenty of time." When friends invited him to learn new skills, he replied, "Maybe tomorrow." Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. While his classmates moved ahead, the boy stayed in the same place. His friends learned to play instruments, scored well in exams, and developed new talents. But the boy was still just thinking and waiting to start. His parents worried. His teachers scolded him. They all said the same thing: "Time is precious. Don't waste it." But their words bounced off him like raindrops on a window. He thought they were just being dramatic. One day, feeling frustrated after failing another exam, the boy decided to visit a wise old sage who lived at the edge of town. People said this sage had answers to life's biggest problems. The sage was sitting peacefully under a large banyan tree. When he saw the boy, he smiled and asked, "What brings you here, boy? Why do you look so worried?" The boy replied, "I am upset and frustrated. Everyone says I'm wasting time, but I don't understand why it's such a big deal. I'm still young. I have my whole life ahead of me." The sage nodded thoughtfully and said, "I know that you are very smart, intelligent, and kind, but you have one big problem." The boy looked surprised and asked, "A problem? What problem do I have? I have everything I need in my life." The sage smiled gently and said, "Let me tell you a story about a poor and lazy man. It might help you understand." And so the sage began. Once there was a generous king who ruled a prosperous kingdom. He was very kind and loved his people deeply. He was famous for his helpful nature and warm heart. He helped many poor people and took care of his entire kingdom just like a father takes care of his children. One day, while walking through the market, the king heard a man shouting angrily at the people around him. Curious, the king walked over to see what was wrong. To his great surprise, the man turned out to be his old classmate from childhood. They hadn't seen each other in many years. The king saw that his classmate had become very poor, had no job, had lost all respect in society, and was struggling every single day. The king walked toward him and asked about his life. The poor man said, "Dear king, I don't understand why people think I'm useless. Whenever I ask for a job, they reject me. They always say I don't complete tasks on time. I don't know what to do. I don't even know how to feed my family." Feeling great compassion for his old friend, the king said, "My friend, I want to help you. Tomorrow morning, come to my palace. I will open my treasury for you. From sunrise to sunset, you can take as much gold, silver, and jewels as you want. Whatever you collect will be yours to keep. But remember, you only have one day. When the sun sets, the gates will close forever." The poor man's eyes lit up with joy. He thanked the king and went home, dreaming of all the wealth he would collect. The next morning, the sun rose bright and early. But the man thought, "I have the whole day. Let me first have a good breakfast." He ate slowly, enjoying every single bite. After breakfast, he thought, "The sun is still far from setting. I have plenty of time. Let me rest for just a little while. He lay down for what he thought would be a short nap. When he woke up, the sun was already high in the sky. Oh no, he thought, I must hurry. But as he walked toward the palace, he felt tired from the hot afternoon heat. The treasury won't go anywhere, he told himself. Let me rest under this shady tree for just a few minutes. Under the cool shade, his eyes grew heavy again. When he finally woke up, the sun was setting. Orange and red colors were painted across the sky. In a panic, he ran as fast as he could toward the palace. But when he arrived, panting and exhausted, the guards were already closing the massive gates. He pleaded desperately, "Please, open the gate. The king promised me I could take treasure." The guard replied firmly, "Yes, but only until sunset. The sun has set. The opportunity is gone." The man fell to his knees, finally realizing what he had lost. Not because he never had the chance, but because he had wasted it, believing he had more time than he actually did. The sage finished his story and looked at the boy, who sat in stunned silence. "Do you understand now?" the sage asked gently. Every day is like that treasury. Every sunrise brings opportunities to learn, to grow, to improve. But these opportunities don't wait. When the day ends, it never comes back. The boy's eyes filled with tears. He thought about all the days he had wasted, all the laters and tomorrows he had said. He realized he had been just like the poor man in the story. "But it is not too late for you," the sage continued. "You are young. Your treasury is still open. But remember, every sunset takes away opportunities that will never return." The boy stood up with new determination shining in his eyes. He thanked the sage and ran home. From that day forward, everything changed. When his mother asked him to do something, he did it right away. When teachers gave assignments, he completed them the very same day. When opportunities came to learn something new, he grabbed them without any hesitation. His grades improved. He learned to play the guitar he had been putting off for months. He helped his parents with work around the house. He even started teaching younger kids in his neighborhood. Within just 1 year, the boy who was once known for always being late became known as the most punctual and reliable person in school. His teachers praised him. His parents were proud. His friends looked up to him. Years later, when he became a successful young man, people often asked him, "What is your secret?" He would smile and say, "I learned that time is the only real treasure we have. Every moment we waste is like throwing away gold." The difference between success and failure isn't always about talent or luck. It's about how we use our time. Don't wait until tomorrow to do what you can do today, because sometimes tomorrow never comes. And whenever he met someone who struggled with putting things off, he would tell them the story of the king's treasury, just as the wise sage had once told him. This story teaches us a deep and important truth. Our life is that treasury. Every single day, the sun rises and the gates open with brand new opportunities. But here's what most of us fail to realize. We are all living like that poor man, thinking we have endless time, saying, "I'll do it later. I'll start tomorrow. I still have time." The harsh truth is that laziness is the thief of dreams. It doesn't walk up and announce itself as failure. It whispers sweetly, "You can do it later." But later becomes never. The boy in our story was lucky. He got his wake-up call while he was still young. But many of us go through our entire lives without ever realizing that each passing day is a closed treasury we can never reopen. There is a famous saying, "If you value time, time will value you. But if you waste time, time will destroy your life." You can achieve anything if you use your time wisely. But if you throw it away, you will lose your chances and live the rest of your life in regret. Think about it. How many times have you skipped doing things? How many times have you postponed your work? Every tomorrow you promise yourself is a treasure you are choosing not to collect today. The beautiful part is that unlike the poor man who missed his chance forever, your treasury is still open right now, at this very moment, as you are listening to this. The question is, will you walk in today, or will you fall asleep under the tree thinking you have more time? Remember, successful people and unsuccessful people both have the same 24 hours in a day. The only difference is that one uses them wisely and the other simply lets them go, doing nothing. So I want to ask you, what have you been putting off? What treasury have you been keeping closed for too long? Write it in the comments below and make a promise to yourself to start today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. And always remember, your treasury is open right now, but the sun is already moving across the sky.
Don't wait until it's too late to realize what you have lost. Start today. Start now. Because the best time to start has already passed. The second best time is right now. If this story touched your heart and opened your eyes, please share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And like this video if it motivated you.